DreamWorks has put out a number of memorable movies over the years. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy, the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, as well as the Netflix series, and even Shrek. Well, the first two, that is. Wait, hold on. But we must mention the greatness of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. My God, absolutely.
Stop talking! Stop talking! Stop talking!
However, as memorable as these films are, there is one that I believe is not talked about enough in terms of greatness, and that movie is Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. This movie was nominated for Best Animated Feature in 2003, the year after Big Green's win, but ultimately lost to a very worthy opponent, Spirited Away. Spirit is great for many reasons. The score and soundtrack done by Hans Zimmer and Bryan Adams is beautiful and inspirational. The story itself is captivating, and the characters are likable. You might ask me, this movie came out in 2002. So why are you making a video about it nearly, 23 years later? Well, the point of it is to show that this movie not only is phenomenal for what it is, but because it stands the test of time as far as the themes that it discusses in it. And what I want to convey within this video is that this movie emphasizes the meaning of freedom and sacrifice. In Spirit, I believe that there are 4 standout scenes that discuss the meaning of both freedom and sacrifice. And you know what? We're gonna jump into it right now. First, I want to start off with the scene in which Spirit was caught by the Wranglers. He was warning his mother at the time and the herd not to come any closer. And it's clearly shown here that Spirit is at a very vulnerable point. Earlier in the movie, we come to know Spirit as this arrogant horse in a way. He's very macho, very full of himself in a way. And he hasn't come across humans before. And when he finally comes across these humans, he thinks that he can escape them, essentially. His curiosity gets the better of him. He starts going around the camp, and then once they wake up, well, he takes off. Thinking that he has the upper hand, well, as we come to find out, he really doesn't. The Spirit of the West had been caught and he was unable to escape. And he usually outruns everyone and everything, but it is here where he starts to learn humility. After taking his pair of bullocks and intruding upon the campsite, Spirit bolts ahead to escape them. He was willing to sacrifice himself for the herd because they could have met the same fate had he not given them warning. This is the true beginning of Spirit's arc. As I said before, he starts off being full of himself, basically a big shot on campus. And now from here, we start to see where his growth begins. The moment he whinnies to his mother warning the herd is where we see this become a commonality throughout the film. Sacrifice is the key word. It does not always mean death, but rather being willing to give something up for the good of someone else. Next up, we have the infamous train scene. And my God, what a scene it is. After saving Rain in Little Creek, Spirit is caught by the Colonel and the crew who turn him over to a railroad construction site where they transport wrangled horses to another site to pull a train through a mountain. The songs sound the bugle, and Spirit's expressions of depression make the scene spectacular. I know. How does depression make for a good scene, you heartless pig? Well, if you would allow me to explain, we witness this once macho horse, wait for it, become human.
Yes!
He assumes that at this point, his fate is sealed. but his actions showed that as long as everyone else was alright, then that's good enough for him. It does not mean that he wanted to be caught, because who would? He misses his freedom. He misses his family. And yet, due to him giving up what he loves, he has thus represented sacrifice. He gave up his own freedom to save others. Does that not sound familiar? Let the church say amen!
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Little Creek and Spirit jumping the canyon was arguably the best scene in the movie. It screams triumphant. Spirit takes all of his pain, after all that he went through, to finally regain control of his destiny. He shows the Colonel that he was not meant to be tamed. He was made to be wild and free. The Colonel nods his head, and out of respect, he backs off. He was moved. That is how we need to look at the world. The places that are free and wild are free and wild for a reason. Everything was not made to be cultivated and civilized. Let nature be what nature is. An essence to be respected and admired for what it is, not destroyed for personal gain. Sometimes in life, in order to get to where you want to go, you have to jump. You have to be willing to take that leap across the valley, across the gorge, wherever it is you're trying to go, whatever dream you're trying to accomplish. You have to jump. Spirit was held back for so long by him being captured, by ending up in Little Creek's camp, by the Colonel coming after him and Rain, and then they take him again, and then he goes, works this train station. It's so many things, so many obstacles that were holding him back from where he truly wanted to go, but yet he still took that leap because no one else would have done it for him but himself. So in life, we have to be the same way. Jobs, relationships, dreams, whatever it may be, you have to have the wherewithal to jump. In my opinion, the most emotionally moving scene was the return of Spirit and Little Creek to the tribal camp. Now, to clarify, it is not the return specifically, but it's what happens within the return, within them coming back. Spirit's face is saddened in remembering that Rain was shot, and he had no idea if she was okay. But then, in the whisper of the moment, she emerges from the smoke and she reunites with Spirit. They run around and they call to each other. I'm getting emotional just recording this. Here comes the biggest impact. Little Creek realizes that Rain and Spirit should stay together. But Rain doesn't see it that way. She doesn't notice it coming because she wants to stay. But Little Creek, he pulls away, and then he turns to Spirit, the horse that he's been trying to tame this entire movie. He says, "Take care of her, Spirit, who cannot be broken." And Spirit, this horse that will not let Little Creek ride him up until before they escaped, he puts his head on his shoulder and they embrace. This to me is the true base of the story. The final sacrifice is made. Little Creek lets them go because he realizes they were meant to be free. Spirit will never be tamed, and Spirit's love for Rain is eternal. The only way that they can truly thrive together is by leaving. Now, why is this so deep? When you love someone, would you hold them back from experiencing a life that may be better? When we grow up, our parents are to nurture and prepare us for the world. They may be highly protective, but they know at some point they have to let go. And sometimes in life we have to learn to let things go so we can actually grow within ourselves and sink our roots deeper into the earth and become a greater tree. That's just the way life is. It's sad, but it's necessary. It's painful, and yet still so beautiful at the same time. And so, in conclusion, Spirit is a movie that talks about a plethora of things. The meaning of what it is to grow, how to revive or redeem yourself from your mistakes, understanding what it's like to have your spirit broken, essentially, and then rise to the occasion to do what you have to do to put yourself where you need to be. The meaning of sacrificing, putting others above you, and being able to lead appropriately. It's beautiful. It's so layered in this movie, and it's a beautiful thing because there's things that can be applied from here to life in itself. And I hope that when you watch this video, if you finish this entire video, I hope that you have walked away with something, and that you take those themes and you apply them to your own. So thank you guys for stopping by, watching this review. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron 2002, one of DreamWorks, one of their finest pieces. I love you all. Stay safe. Take care. And remember, stop horsing around. Anybody, BoJack Horseman, anybody? Okay, sure. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next video. You all take care. Bye. Y'all gonna check me out at these here socials. I'll see you all in the next one. And by the way, make sure that you stay tuned for all types of content that I got going on at this here channel. Remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth hell.